So I am Rebecca Parsons and I currently work for Wintelter in the Credit Control department. I am, as of recent, Credit Controller. I was prior to that a Credit Admin. So I got made Credit Controller in May last year and given my own ledger, which was quite exciting. It was a bit of a challenge for me actually because I am a mature student and have a young family. So my son is 11, and actually me undertaking a course at my age was quite nice because I was able to show my son that if you put in the work and put in the effort, then you get the results that you're after. And he's at that very impressionable age where he's going to have lots of stuff coming up. So actually achieving it for myself, but also for my family, was quite a big thing for me. My end goal is to be in credit management, and level 3 is just going to elevate me to that point. I'm actually starting the course next week, which is very exciting. And yeah, so that's the first quarter of the level 3 course. So I'm very much looking forward to that and getting on my full journey towards becoming a manager. I did a couple of courses while I was a PA, and those organisational skills that I picked up from those courses really did help when coming into credit admin. I wanted to sort of streamline the processes that we had in place to make it easier for when the next person stepped into that role, and really just making sure that my multitasking was on point as well. I'm very much I strive for perfection. It's not always achievable, but I try and get as close to. So they definitely came in handy, those traits, when it come to taking on the admin role. I was very lucky to be paired with Tracy as my tutor, because she teaches very much in a way that I learn, if that makes any sense. I very quickly picked up to the relationship that we had and we progressed with. She was so helpful and always there. She always encouraged us to contact her one-on-one to discuss anything that we didn't quite get or understand. And I had many a session with Tracy one-on-one that really just helped me gather all the information on the topics that she was teaching us outside of the lesson. And I am very grateful to say that she's going to be my level 3 tutor as well. So I was very pleased to learn that. But yeah, she's definitely someone I would recommend to have as a tutor going on level 2 or level 3. Yeah, so actually in the credit control and collections part module of the course, it was the laws and regulations that seemed fairly straightforward when you first looked at it, but actually when you get into the nitty-gritty it can become fairly complicated. So I had a couple of sessions with Tracy on those just to sort of make sure I understood it for when it came to my assignments, because I didn't want to trip up on something just because I hadn't investigated it fully, if you know what I mean. I actually fell into the role, which is what I've heard many people do with credit control. It's not something people choose, it's something that chooses them, sort of thing. Because my last role before this was PA to the managing director and CEO, but unfortunately when the pandemic hit it was considered a luxury role, so I became redundant, and it just by chance happened that there was an admin role going within the company. I've been with the company 11 years nearly in April, and so I applied for it, and initially that was to be back in sales where I started, but a week before I actually started the role it then transpired that I was going to be working in credit admin. So yeah, I sort of fell into it and then found my passion for it. And it really bodes well with how I work, because I work off results and this is all about results. So yeah, when I started in credit admin, it was very much a stopgap sort of job. And it was only when I started to get a little bit more involved with helping the credit controllers and seeing what they do on a day-to-day and realising that, you know, it's the results you can see and you can get job satisfaction pretty much week by week. That really sort of drew me towards it and thought, this might be something I'm interested in. Let's explore that. I quite enjoy the problem solving. That is something that keeps me on my toes, so to speak. If I find an enigma, I just want to get to the bottom of it, get it sorted, hashed out, and then go, right, this is what happened. But again, it's the results, it's the debt collecting where I can see what I'm doing. I keep myself a spreadsheet. week on week, month on month, where I can see how much I started with at the beginning of the month, how much I've managed to collect week on week. And I just sort of, it's like I'm challenging myself, so to speak. And yeah, and my manager just sits there and goes, wow, okay, you really are results driven. And I'm like, yes, that's me. No, that's exactly it. I had my results in for my ledger for last year, and I managed to achieve the lowest 90 days plus debt since they own the company, which is fantastic for me. But I now have to beat it. So I'm against myself on this one. But again, I absolutely welcome the challenge. I am here for perfectionism, and we will see if I manage it. Yeah, no, definitely collections is the way I'm looking at right now. That's the way I'm heading. But as we know, we don't know what the future holds. I could find something else on level 3 that I'm more interested in, maybe export or something like that. So yeah, we'll wait to see what I find next. So I am aiming to go into credit management, but I'm happy to take, like, if a senior role becomes available within my company in the meantime, I am more than happy to take that step to sort of build my knowledge as I go along with the course. And then come the end of the course, hopefully I am fully ready to take on a role. Honesty and integrity, 100%. It's the basis of credit control. You can't work in credit control unless you are honest. But another one, I think, relationship building. It's a very transferable skill throughout all roles, but I think it is absolutely crucial towards debt collection, because if you're unable to build those relationships with your customers, you're not going to be top of their list to pay. And it's the same with internal stakeholders as well. You want to build those relationships, so when you do have a problem, you can go to them easily and get it figured out in a time conscious manner. So yeah, relationship building and honesty and integrity, I would say, are the most important. I was fairly lucky in the fact that we have our allocated off the job hours, and if I required more, because of the relationship that I have with my manager, he's very easy to talk to. If I required more hours to be able to achieve the results that I was after for that particular piece of homework or work, then he was fairly flexible with that. But I also had to put some of my own personal time down, which took an impact on certain activities that I would normally do in place, but it was worth it in the long run. So just making sure your priorities are in place when it came to it is the main thing that you can do when on the apprenticeship. So I would definitely say you have to go in with the positive attitude of you're there to learn and be hungry to learn all the information, because there is such an abundance of information on level 2, and I imagine level 3 as well. Just go in and really be focused and ready to take everything on board, and really just take advantage of all the opportunities that are offered. So like I mentioned earlier with Tracy, she encouraged us to contact her and have one-on-one sessions. Take advantage of those opportunities and make sure you are making use of all the time, and the CICM podcasts that go out and the seminars, and making sure you're taking in every bit of information. And that way you will, your passion for it will grow as well.